Do you ever fantasize about being killed? About all the different ways of dying?
Is it to awaken and feel the passing of time? Or is it the fading beat of your own heart?
They learned parts of a dismembered female body had been found in a remote corner of San Bernardino County. Why was her skull left outside a local restaurant? And where is the rest of her body?
Death is only the beginning.
Corey Gore Christ, DIEnecology Podcast. I'm your DIEnecologist. We are here today with Patrick of Severe Torture. It's been a long time coming. I fucking love this band so much. Torn from the Jaws of Death comes out June 7th on Season of Mist. Very excited to have you, man. And how are you?
Well, I'm glad you have me on your podcast. I'm doing just fine. Just waiting for the album to be released. So
Yeah.
Excited as hell. So
Yeah, some eager anticipation. It's been what, like 14 years since your last full-length album? It's been
it's crazy. Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been too long, but life. So
true. And you were in a band also, Centurion. I don't know if you still are, but you guys put out something in between that also. So
we have been busy, not too busy, and then like I said, life happens, Corona happens, and
yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years already, so yeah.
Right. And here we are. We've survived, and we'll get into death and survival in a little bit. But for now, we'll just talk a little bit about the album, some of the, process of that, maybe some of the lyrical themes of the record.
All right.
You got some killer songs out already. Pinnacle of Suffering, I think, is one you released most recently.
Yeah, we released it yesterday. So.
Yeah. It rips, man. It's so good. Talk a little bit about the track and then the ones you have out so far.
The latest we released, the Pinnacle of Suffering. What can I say? It's a track that I worked on in I think 2012 already.
Wow.
It was still with our old drummer Seth, but just we wrote actually complete record in 2012, I think, but it just didn't feel right, and we did nothing with it.
Yeah.
But I thought the first riff of the song was too cool to not use it. So I reworked it a little bit and use it for this song.
Right.
And I think it's pretty much old school Severe Torture song. Of course, maybe the fans of the first hour will not agree with me with it, but it's a banger. So yeah, I love the track.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's man, yeah, it's definitely got the old school feel. I could definitely tell that. I love your guys' shit, but listened to you since, I was I'm a little younger, but you guys have been around for a long time. But when I did get introduced to the band, went back and listened to everything else. So I'd say around maybe 2002 is when I started listening to them when I was like 12. So that's Misanthropic Carnage. Probably the first thing I was introduced to the band, and then went backwards and holy shit. So yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, following your band and still going strong, man.
Yeah, we try to. It's not given to every band, so
right.
Maybe that's why we didn't do. Well, we did do a lot in meantime, but not like recording wise. Sometimes you got to take a step back just to survive.
Yeah.
Here we are. We released 3 tracks, like I said, Pinnacle of Suffering, and then the previous track, the title track, Torn from the Jaws of Death, has got a different vibe to it. I think Yeah, it's got like a more atmospheric, almost black metal part in it.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, at least that's the feedback that we got. And then the first track we released, "The Death of Everything,"
yeah,
it's also the last track we wrote for this record. It's one of my favorite tracks. I love that
yeah, yeah.
track. Uh, yeah,
And
also.
that's the first song on the album, so that's cool. It's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a good way to start it off.
Yeah,
I
show
like starting
people.
off just with just go right into it. Start
Yeah,
blasting the eardrums out. You know.
yeah. I think that's what like we to do on every record. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's do it this time again. You know.
It's a good you know, reintroduction of the band to establish yourselves again and to be right back in it where you left off. And I don't think you've missed a beat. And if anything, you sound so much better now. I mean, just tell where you guys have progressed and had a long time to write, and just it sounds super polished. It sounds raw. It sounds really good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Thanks. It's not always. There's a lot of bands that release a record like 10 years maybe or longer after their last record, and sometimes it's you're missing the urgency or something.
yeah,
The fire, and I believe we showed the
yeah.
world that we still got the death metal fire in us.
Damn right. Well,
I
yeah,
don't
and
know. Did you check the EP that we did like 2 years ago?
yeah,
The
yeah, I
Fisting the
did.
Sockets EP.
It's good
I
shit
love that.
too.
Yeah, I think it went a little bit under the radar for some people,
I
but
agree. Yeah,
I think it's hopefully in the slipstream of the new record that EP gets a little bit recognition. I think it deserves. But,
yeah. I mean, how can you not listen to an EP that's called, Fisting the Sockets? If you're a death metal fan.
well,
I
if
mean,
you're
yeah.
an electrician, you
Right.
might think about something. you know,
No, it's great. It was one of those things where it kind of just popped up where I was like, oh shit, when did Severe Torture release something? Um,
Yeah, that was the way we intended to do it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
wanted to show to people, hey, we're creating new stuff. Here's 3 songs that we think are very cool, and
Yeah.
just we did hope that the album, was finished a little bit earlier. That was the initial plan, but in 2 years after the EP, so we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Yeah. Going strong. You guys got some shows coming up. I know you're doing Maryland Death Fest. I'll be there, so I'll see you there. Very
Oh,
excited.
nice,
Be my
nice,
first
nice.
time seeing Severe Torture, so looking forward to that. Um,
Okay, so I've got to rehearse a little bit so we don't point.
got big expectations, man. Yeah, I think you
we're
guys will be
we're on
awesome. So
pretty early on that day, so
yeah, yeah,
you'll be here there every day for the festival.
yep,
All right, so we'll drink a beer
yeah.
somewhere on
Fuck
the.
yeah, let's do it, man. I'm really excited. It's been a year. They took a year off of the fest. This will be like I think my 5th year going. So um, it's always fun. It's fun to have a metal takeover of a little city, and
Yeah,
it's really neat. So sight to behold. One of the only festivals like that we get in the United States. Like there's some open air stuff now, and like Full Terror Assault's pretty awesome, and there's other ones that have popped up over the years, but Maryland's really just a unique kind of atmosphere. It's just
yeah, we like it, and we have a good relationship with Ryan, and
yeah, yeah,
he's been loyal to us, so
yeah,
we very loyal to him. So
hell yeah, yeah, definitely look forward to it. Um, you got any other shows after that?
yeah, we are doing the us and Bloodbath, Primordial, and
Yeah,
Argo.
yeah,
Yeah, we're doing like 4 shows after Maryland Death Fest. So we're playing in Chicago, Seattle, Mesa, Arizona, and Los Angeles. So
yeah,
Los Angeles is already sold out, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty exciting. And then the other shows are doing well as well. But so people listening, or I don't know, get your fucking tickets.
One sold out, the others will sell out. They're big market cities. The lineup is insane for, some off day like US shows, it's gonna be crazy. So
It's a strange lineup, but I
yeah.
think it will work, and I'm looking forward to seeing Primordial and Bloodbath every night. So
Oh fuck yeah.
excited
Yes.
about it. So yeah,
Yeah, and they're these are all bands you can see at Maryland Death Fest, but to see them in a smaller venue club and just to have Primordial, Severe Torture, and Bloodbath playing just some club shows in the US, just you gotta go do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't come often, and I don't think it really has before. So
No. I'm very, we're not headlining like
yeah.
normally we headline the shows that we do.
Yeah.
And so we got time to relax, drink some beer,
Yeah. Watch some other
good
bands,
time. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I will get into the um blood and guts, if you will, of DIEnecology and what we do. We like to talk about just how, like, we all face death and we deal with, tragedy, we deal with loss, and it's hard to cope with those things. We have to find a way. And I think that death metal artists really are just kinds of people that know how to do that and to turn it into an art form and to make it more like something that we're used to and that we can talk about. Maybe like I don't like to use glorifying because it's not what we do, but you can kind of make it like badass or something. It's like a way to cope with it. And it's for certain kinds of people, I think. So I've always found it interesting, like how I'm drawn to that, and I've always just seen death as more positive. Um, if it helps you face it and helps you deal with it, because it's all around us every day, and the reality of it is the hard part. So to kind of turn it into a more, just um, like a fun, visceral thing, and just make it, you know, give it like a medium for us to be able to talk about it in a positive way, even
Yeah.
though killing people doesn't seem like a positive thing. But if you if you turn it into like, a perspective is what it is. It's
I
perspective,
think,
and it kind of
yeah.
keeps us used to that instead of just never talking about it, never centering ourselves around it. And then once you're faced with it, it becomes a lot harder. So I guess talk about, your experiences, whatever you're comfortable talking about, but what kind of drives you to this genre, and what makes it, uh how do you cope with those things?
Yeah, well, of course, death is one of the most popular themes in death metal. But it's not like that. We are drawn to death. I think it can be a beautiful part of life. You know,
Sure.
I think some of us during life yearn for death, actually, but that's a different part. But
Sure, yeah.
it was not really the death, or getting killed or whatever that drawn us to death metal. It's just the combination of everything. It's music wise,
Yeah.
it's one of the only genres that gets you really excited just hearing some fat death metal riff, and then the vocals are coming, and
Yeah.
it's dark, and of course it's almost all the time about, not all the time, but it's about death.
Yeah.
uh, we sing about death, and we try to well, not like we are glorifying or you want people
Yeah.
killed. Of course,
Sure.
you want people, if you see what's going on in the world, you want to see people killed, but
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
most of the
Everyone
time
does. Everyone does.
the people that get killed are not the ones that deserve being killed. You understand
Right.
what I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but death metal as a genre, and the energy it gives you, it does help you
Yeah.
through life. Metal, not all metal, because there's some type of genres in metal at the moment that cannot imagine that it would have happened 20 years ago. But
Right. Yeah.
metal,
Sure.
is like it's a very it's a genre full of energy, full of excitement, uh, and death is just as it is a part of life. So why not sing about it
Yeah.
and make fun of it, maybe, or
Yeah.
just exaggerate it so it's like the gore and guts and everything. People watch horror films. I know
Yep.
it's a comparison that a lot of bands make, but yeah. So just sing about it. And of course, there's if you read the lyrics, you can find if you read between the lyrics, you can find a little bit how we think about
Yeah, yeah.
things. We're not about spreading a message, or it's about getting fun and excitement in doing something to escape the reality of life.
Exactly.
In death. So yeah, it's a little bit strange. Strange situation, or I don't know how to say it, but yeah. So we sing about death, especially what you like I said, what you see in the world right now. Of course, you can see it a little bit in our lyrics and how we've been doing it since the beginning. You know, we don't have a second album named Misanthropic Carnage for nothing. You know,
Yeah.
we are all fun-loving people and also social people, but you know, in general,
Right.
we don't like a lot of people. But also, that's human nature, and death is
Right.
human nature. Killing is human nature. And if you see it in Western cultures, it's death is not celebrated, and you see the other cultures, they embrace death, they celebrate death. So yeah, we celebrate death in death metal. So
Yeah, that's right. You know, celebration doesn't mean glorification. It's just, you know, death, like you said, is a part of life. It's part of the cycle. It's actually a very beautiful cycle, the way that it actually works with, you know, decomposition, going back into the soil, growing the earth. And, you know, there's so many things to it that's actually a good thing. But I think part of what makes death metal unique is really, you know, there's not really, in my opinion, it's the only genre, you know, like metal in general, but mostly death metal, where you can actually channel something negative like anger and hate, and you can just turn it into fun. And that makes it kind of like maniacal a little bit, like crazy. But
yeah, yeah.
everyone's a little crazy, but I think it helps us get the crazy out a little, you know, like you can go and you can, you know, fuck each other up in the pit, help each other up, whatever. You're all having a good time, you know, getting that energy out, because it's hard, you know, but people have these emotions whether they want to admit it or not. You know, everybody, you get cut off in traffic, you're like, I'm gonna rip this guy's head off, you know, and you know, we all have that kind of thing in our heads, or just something like that. So I feel like this medium actually honestly puts a perspective to that, and can help people just realize they're not the only ones that are like, am I crazy? Am I some kind of
Yeah,
sociopath? You know, it's like, no, it's completely normal to have negative emotions towards people or things in your world. And death metal's a really good way of tapping into that emotion and having a positive release for it, and you know, kind of a camaraderie in a way too, because you have all these, you know, bands and other people that feel the same way and have a good way of getting their anger and their sick inner thoughts out and fantasies, you
yeah.
know, because we all
I
have
think
them once in a while.
that's one of the most beautiful things about this scene. Like you said, the camaraderie between fans and bands. You know,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, and it's a contradiction. You know,
Yeah.
you're playing a brutal song, you know, with a song about killing people or death or whatever, and everybody's smiling and cheering at you.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
And that's why I always thought, you know, like how it's so awesome that it's a thing, but when you're an outsider to the genre and you're not into the kind of music, people are like, how do you do that? Or like,
Yeah.
are these people insane? Like, I mean, maybe a little bit, but you know, not to the point of where we're actually acting out. Like, there's no like death metal bands that are actually going out and doing those things. If there is, you
No,
know, maybe one,
everybody's
you know,
channeling their insanity in you know, listening to the
yeah,
music and going to the show, and I
right.
think also something beautiful.
It's very therapeutic because
Yeah,
you need the outlet. If you don't have the outlet to get these emotions out, then you're gonna eventually, hopefully not, but you're gonna actually act out on those emotions and hurt somebody or even kill somebody. And you know, you're like, hey, if you're crazy or having these urges, come over to death metal. You'll have a way to
yeah.
release it without actually physically hurting anybody. So
Yeah,
you know,
come to the show, but please don't kill us.
Yeah, just do it in the pit, but don't kill anybody. Just kind of,
Yeah.
rough people up a little and have fun. That's what I try to do. I'm getting too old for the pit. I can like pull a hamstring just,
Oh man,
walking over there. It's like,
if I get into the pit and start, jumping around a little bit, I'm gonna shit my pants, man. It's time.
yeah, I haven't done that yet, but I think I've came close a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is if I feel it, I feel it. I may not a spring chicken, but I'm not too old yet. But I've been in enough pits to where it's like I'll pick my spots if I just have the feeling I'm gonna go run in there. But
that's
I try to
also
survive, especially like Maryland. I'm there for like 5 days. I can't be jumping in the pit Wednesday night at the pre-show and then be fucked the rest of the week. I
Oh yeah, no,
I got too
no
many
way.
bands to see, too much walking to do. And, you gotta play it safe a little bit. But
Yeah.
people go wild over there, and just metal shows in general. Um, but yeah, it's really looking forward to the album and looking forward to your shows. And it's gonna be really huge for you, I think, coming back. When's the last time you guys played in the US?
Um, 2016, I think. That was
Okay.
actually we headlined one of the stages on Maryland Death Fest,
Nice.
and um, that was the last show with the old drummer. With
Yeah.
Sam. After that show, we actually decided that we should quit, but
Yeah.
luckily we decided after 1 or 2 years that it's too early to quit.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was the last time we played the US. So
Wow.
time flies. 8 years ago,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's crazy. So we're ready. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And have you done festivals since then, like over, in Europe and everything else?
Yeah, we've been playing shows regularly. So
That's good.
there have been years that we have like a dozen shows, or maybe only 3 shows, whatever.
Yeah.
We all working. We have our jobs, and some of us also have families, and so the band is a hobby, if
Yeah.
you want to call it like that. And,
Sure.
but it's a beautiful hobby, and
I think so too, yeah.
yeah, and so we have to fit it into our schedules. We just did
Right.
Mexico like a week ago,
Oh, that's awesome.
and then only one show because we didn't want to do like 10
Yeah.
shows and flying and get all fucked
Right.
up.
Yeah.
And we're doing the US and it's I think it's only a week,
Yeah.
2 weeks. So we're doing 5 shows, so we have to take time off from work, and that's not a big problem. But after that, we have a lot of more shows. We try to fit it in the weekends,
Yeah.
so it's going to be a busy time, and that's nice. And we always try to do it. And of course, when we got the new drummer, the world got put to a stop.
Yeah.
And that was a strange time. So we didn't get to do the shows that we wanted. So we're trying to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah. And were you guys writing still during that time, or did you just take some time off from
We
it?
took some time off because it was, prohibited to get together. And,
Right.
It's not that like we were afraid or something, but
Right.
nobody knew exactly what it was, and we can all
Yeah.
discuss now in hindsight, but we were just a little bit careful.
Yeah.
We all have jobs also to get, and we wanted our companies to survive. So
Sure.
so we put it a little bit on hold. So it's not that we've been writing constantly. We wrote the record in like a year or something,
Nice.
in between our jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
So now at least I am working on the next record, but I first wanted to wait until we got the reactions for this record. I want
Of course, yeah.
You write for yourself, but of course you want to get a little bit of the feedback, how people are experiencing it, hearing if you're on the right track, because you can write for yourself, but
Right.
if you write too much for yourself, nobody's listening. But it's,
Yeah.
we just write what we feel. So sometimes it's brutal, sometimes it's even more brutal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the reactions, and
Yeah.
then again, you can never predict what the people will say because
Right.
who knows. So yeah.
Well, coming from me, it's fucking awesome. Like it's a bulldozer, and that's what you expect from severe torture. And I don't think anyone's gonna be disappointed if you're a fan of the band or even just newcomers, people that just picked up severe torture. Feels like me in 2002 when I first heard Misanthropic Carnage. That was my introduction. Went back to the other discography before that, and I became like a huge fan of the band. So hopefully that's what everyone else does if this is their first time hearing the band. Check out
Hopefully,
everything else because I mean, damn, you guys don't have a bad thing on your catalog. It's all just nasty death metal. It's what you expect. You guys have been around for like 20 years, and it shows. Um,
yeah. I'm very glad that you like the new record, and
oh yeah,
yeah, we are very happy about it. It doesn't happen all the time that we all of us are happy about the stuff that we did. So
yeah,
yeah, let's. Yeah, we cannot wait until to unleash the whole thing. So
yeah. And 14 years in the making. You guys came back with a vengeance. It's definitely well worth the wait. So when guys hear it, show some love to the guys and let them know about the record. If you guys, you know, tell them, hey,
yes,
this album fucking kicked my ass. Like, good,
we're very curious about everything. So
And
just
if
let
you're
us
in,
know, even the bad stuff.
yeah,
It's not always fun to read the bad stuff, but it's part of taste.
there's always going to be somebody that's, uh, throw some negative shit your way, but there's no
It's
nine
okay.
times out of 10, you kind of need those people to see how good the positive responses are, which I think you guys won't have any shortage of that. So,
No, it's so
um,
far everything has maybe one or two bad reactions, but
uh,
most of the time it's disappointment about not as us playing the style of the first two records. But if you listen closely, you can recognize the riffs because
yeah, that's
I
there.
I wrote most of the part of the first two records. I'm still
Yeah.
here. I'm still writing. So,
Right. Yeah. Now that the spirit of the band hasn't gone anywhere, and if anything, you're a better, more oiled machine now, having coming back after so long of a hiatus. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah. The songs definitely are. We are getting older, so we are not like we're starting to get a little bit squeaky, yeah, or something.
no, it's good shit. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, man.
Um, back to the death thing real quick. Is your family, are they death metal fans, or are they just kind of supportive of it? Like, what's their perspective on it?
Well, my family, as in my parents, for instance, I quit my school when I was in severe torture because I
Wow.
thought, let's do this. You're young, and
Yeah.
I think that you know fanatism of I don't know how to say it correctly, but that we had when we started the band
Yeah.
actually got the band that we can still rely on the fan base that we built back
Yeah.
then. But after a couple of years, we noticed, okay, this is no way of making a living. So at first they were a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
They don't understand the music, and but I made something of my life,
Yeah.
even though I quit school, and now they just are and they're proud that their son. Uh, Even I'm 46, so their
Yeah.
46-year-old son is still playing
Yeah.
playing death metal and getting to see the world, and so they're proud. And my wife, she understands that I need to do this.
Yeah.
She likes the music that we play.
That's good. Yeah.
She used to be a metalhead. Not a full metalhead, but she used to listen to it a lot. She still does, but not. You know, she listened to other stuff as well. So, but
Yeah. Yeah.
she think it's cool that we are still get to do this, and we don't tour as much and not as long. So she's okay with it. So she's supportive, and the people at my job, you know, they're supportive. I get to do what I want to do, and so yeah, I'm lucky with that. I think
Yeah.
they understand that I want to do this. They might not understand the music, but it's fun, and the people that work for me, they they don't understand it, but they smile and they see normally this quiet guy, and then they see
Yeah.
the live videos, and they see a different kind of Patrick,
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's all good. So and I think for everybody of us, they got supportive families. Damien, the drummer, has 2 young kids, and Marvin, he got like 3 daughters growing up, and he gets to do this stuff, and they support him. So
Yeah.
that's all we can ask for.
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. I've always had that kind of thing, and I do death metal bands, on and off. And I've had plenty of friends or coworkers that just they've never even really heard any of it, so they don't know what it is. And you try to talk to them about it, they're like, they just they're kind of confused. They're
Yeah,
like, so you
they
just
don't understand.
just scream and talk about,
Yeah,
decapitating people? Like, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's just
you
for
know,
fun, I don't have a secret life, I'm pretty much the same person at work as I am there. I just perform differently, but gotta have.
people, if they don't know too much, they make fun of it, and then you tell them you got to play and everything, and they say,
Yeah.
oh shit, so this is very serious. Yeah, it's serious,
Yeah.
but it's brutal. You gotta like it.
It's not for everybody. The people it's for, they're very passionate about it, and you know, it's good. I don't know where I'd be without it, and to be honest, I don't even know how I really even got into the music. It just kind of happened, at an early age, got introduced to some bands, and still here,
It called you, man. The death metal called you, and you
Yeah.
listened, and you showed up. So just like the same as with us, it's
Yeah.
you cannot explain that you out of the blue start listening to death metal, man. It's just something that connects with you.
Yeah.
Of course, like all music, but I think it takes a different kind of person to get attracted to death metal.
Yeah. I had like early trauma stuff like that when I was younger, and faced a lot of, you know, some dark shit when I was younger, so maybe that was part of it. But once I heard it, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Think you have the gene in you or you don't. If it makes you kind of power frown, like, if it makes you make a stupid face and you start headbanging to it, you like it. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't thank you enough for coming on, man, and talking with me. A huge fan. So, excited to see you guys in a couple weeks, and excited for this album to come out for you guys. It's been a long time coming for Severe Torture to kick our asses again. So here you are.
You're
And,
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, much appreciated.
I appreciate you inviting me to your podcast, and
Of course.
I always like to talk about the band, but also death metal in general. So it's for me, it's a pleasure, man. And
Yeah.
make sure if you see us there and walking by or whatever, just come up and we'll drink a beer, man.
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's do it. Torn from the Jaws of Death comes out June 7th on Season of Mist. So definitely pick that up, stream it, check it out. Go catch them in a few weeks. They're going to be in the U.S. for a few dates. In Chicago and Los Angeles is already sold out, but maybe you can beat someone up, take their ticket, whatever you need to do to get there.
Yeah.
Just figure it out,
Make sure you buy the record, because
Yeah.
it's coming out on the same day as Bon Jovi does. So let's outsell those guys and then show them what.
Yeah,
what's
Bon
up.
Jovi's not taking over metal again. We got to keep him down. But yeah, Severe Torture by the record. It's been waited a long time for them to come back. So let's show them that we, need them here in the death metal world, as we have for so long. So, but yeah, Patrick, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and hopefully I'll see you. I'll definitely see you in Maryland. We'll link up, and I'll get you a beer.
All right.
Have a good
Nice.
time, man, and
Okay,
enjoy and safe travels to the United States, and we'll see you soon. Best of luck, and
All right. Perfect.
all right, man. Well, I'll see you soon, dude. Best of luck.
See you in a couple
Yeah.
of weeks. Take
Fuck
care,
yeah,
man.
dude. You too, man. Thank you.